Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, and I am here with this week's What I Sold on Etsy video. It has been a slower week, and I kind of knew it was going to be a slower week, only because I think I mentioned last week in my video I had relatives from out of town that were coming, and so, that throws off your whole schedule. I mean, that's the one thing about being self-employed is, you tend to work all the time, really, and when there's like a disruption in the schedule, even though they're only here like a couple days, it just throws everything off. And so, I knew that this week was just going to be basically be spent catching up, really, on all the stuff, spent a couple of days that, not working. And so, you got to play catch up all week long, basically. So this week on Etsy, I sold 11 items for a total of $112.50. So fell pretty far short of my $200 goal. And obviously, those were, again, some lower priced items this week. And so far, that's how next week's starting out. But we'll focus on this week. So I will show you my shop stats, and then I'll show you each of the items that sold and how much they sold for. And just to remind you, the price that you see is just the selling price of the item, so that doesn't include the shipping fees that are paid by the buyer and doesn't include any fees that I paid to purchase the item or fees I paid to Etsy. So I did remember to do my shop stats screenshot. That's a tongue twister there. I will show that to you, and then I'll show you each of the items that sold. So here's a look at the shop stats for the week. 2,300 views, most of those being listing views and the rest being shop views, and 147 favorites, and again, most of those were listing favorites. And like I said, 11 orders, $112.50. Pretty well spaced out, I guess, over the course of the week if you look at the chart there below. And I will show you each of the items that sold. First item that sold this week was from the clearance section of my shop. There's like a really big noisy truck going by outside. Sorry about that. A trailer with a bunch of lawnmowers on it. Anyway, first item that sold was this record album book, like a storage book for storing, I think, like 45 sized records. And it sold for $7.50. I originally had it priced at $15 and marked it down to half price at $7.50. I got it a long time ago, and honestly, I don't even remember where I picked it up because I've had it so long. And then I sold this cute little fox figurine for $12. What's the phone doing now? I'm sorry, this is turning out to be a really noisy video. There's all kinds of things going on in the background while I'm trying to talk. But anyway, sold this figurine. I don't remember where I picked him up either, but I haven't had him too long. I think I had him for a while sitting there in my to list pile, but I finally did get him listed, so it wasn't even that long ago that I listed this guy. And then I got this pillow kit. I picked this up at a rummage sale not too long ago. It sold for $12, and when I showed it off in the haul video, I thought it was like a cut and sew thing, but it's actually just to make a pillow. So this is the top of the pillow. It's folded in half. The back is the back of the pillow, and then you can embellish it with, embroidery or other accents if you wish. And it was made by Vogue Needlecraft. And this is a Statue of Liberty little creamer, it's like a souvenir creamer. It sold for $7. This is something I think I picked up at an auction a while ago in a box lot. And this is a really, really tiny turtle figurine. I mean, he is just so small. But he sold for $4, and wow, where did I get him? I don't remember. I feel like I haven't had him too long, too. I have a tiny little frog, I think, too, that I got at the same time. So Deja Vu. If you've been watching these videos for any length of time, you might actually remember seeing this set before. It sold for $25. It's a set of wooden animals and also, like, little blocks to make, like, the farm or the barn houses or whatever. And I picked it up at an auction in a box lot about a year or so ago, but I actually sold this once before, and the buyer returned it. I have a return policy. If a person is dissatisfied with the purchase for any reason, they can return it, and I get barely any returns. I mean, I sell a lot of stuff and I get very few returns. There's nothing wrong with the item, and in fact, the buyer admitted she didn't really read the listing too closely. I have the dimensions there and everything, and she was buying it to go with other toys that she had, that her son had, I guess. And this turned out to be way too small. The scale was way different than what she was buying it for. So, she asked to return it, which was no problem. She paid, to have it shipped back, so no big deal. But anyway, I sold again for $25. So, I don't even know if I can count that as a plus because I have to count that week before when I sold it as a minus. But anyway, that sold again. And here's a handkerchief, vintage handkerchief, which sold for $6. And nothing too exciting going on with it. It's a white one with blue polka dots and blue trim, so very simple, classic kind of design. I sold this 101 Dalmatians, I'll call it a paper doll set, for $12. It really wasn't paper dolls in the traditional sense, but all different, paper characters from the 101 Dalmatians movie, and then you set them up in different scenes and whatnot. And this was in a lot of paper dolls that I bought at an auction over a year ago. And then I sold this souvenir pennant from South Carolina, sold for $10. This is maybe like a medium-sized pennant, I would say. This one I think came from an auction, and what's interesting is the person that was buying it did tell me she needed it quickly, so we had to do priority shipping on it. But she needed it quickly because it was going to be in a television show. I don't know what show it was going to be in, or I would tell you, but it's always cool when that happens, right? And here's a milk bottle that sold for $12. This is just a plain glass bottle. There was no markings, no dairy markings on it, either printing or, raised lettering or design or anything like that. So very simple. And I picked this up at an auction last fall, I guess. And finally this week I sold some stickers. These sold for $5. There were 19 total stickers, I think, the reason it was a weird number is there's sheets of 6, I think, but then the sheets have been cut up, some of the stickers have been used. And these all featured Kathy, the comic book character, comic strip, I guess I should say. Kathy Guyswhite, I think, is the creator. These were from 1980s, maybe early 1990s. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. That is everything that I sold this week, and I do put out these videos every week showing the different vintage items that I've sold in my Etsy shop, Planet Alissa. I do try to get other videos out, although, like I said, I'm just now kind of getting caught up on everything, so maybe next week I'll have some more videos for you. I'm not sure. I'll try. I'll work on that. But until next time, guys, have a great weekend, and happy selling, everyone!